The stock market ended on a really high note this past week. All the exchanges were in the green. The Russell was up 1.5%, which was great. The Nasdaq was up 1.2%, and the S&P was up as well. It was just really good news on Friday around employment data. The employment report came out and it showed that more jobs were created than expected. Really good news. It drove down the unemployment rate. What that did is it made investors more confident that the economy is doing fairly well, which is very different than it was about 2 months ago. There was a concern that the consumer was getting pretty fatigued and was beginning to default on credit card debt as well as car loans, especially the lower end consumer. But the data yesterday really increased the confidence in the economy. So it made consumer discretionary the top sector in the space, and financials close behind it. I wanted to focus in on financials on this particular video to see if I should expand the number of shares I own in some financial companies that I already have and see if I could find a new stock that maybe is going to start performing. I'm looking for some winners for 2025, and financials, if the economy is going to do well, could really perform in the new year. Let me take a closer look. Before I get to the financial stocks, let me ask for your sponsorship of this channel. There's 3 levels of sponsorship: $10, $25, and $99. And I'd appreciate your consideration of any level that you could afford. And FYI, I'm running a special offer. If you sign up for the $10 program, you'll automatically be upgraded to the $25 program. But that offer expires on October 6th. I've been sharing that for a couple of weeks, and that offer will expire, not return. Please consider sponsoring the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Financial services is well known. We've got big companies like JP Morgan, Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, really well-known names. There's also a lot of mid-sized companies and small businesses that are starting. This is an industry, a set of industries that have been around for more than 100 years. Financial services has been needed for a long time. What I'd like to take a look at is a few big companies and see how their valuations look, a few mid-sized companies, and then a few small companies to see where is this sector at. Is it a good opportunity to increase my investment in financial stocks at this time? Again, I'm looking for a good performing stocks for 2025. The largest company in this sector is Berkshire Hathaway. This is Warren Buffett's company, supremely successful, just a great set of assets that this company owns, including Apple, Chevron, and many other great companies. Its market cap is nearly $1 trillion. The PE is nice and low in 2024, and it's going to increase to 25 in the next year. Analysts think it's fairly priced, and they value the company based on earnings per share. I've never been a Berkshire Hathaway investor. It feels like I'm investing in a mutual fund ETF that owns a set of companies. And I'd rather either go directly to those companies or I pick different ETFs. When I ask Meta AI how much Berkshire Hathaway is valued, it believes it's valued at $427 per share. And that is lower than the current stock price, which is $461. For the time being, I'm going to stay away from Berkshire. Again, I have a lot of respect for Warren Buffett, but I've never been an investor in his company. JP Morgan is the next company. I have been an investor in JP Morgan. I've invested and held the stock for a number of years. I really like the appreciation that I got. I just felt the stock got a little expensive a few years ago, and I decided to switch to different investments. The company is a $600 billion market cap. That's a pretty big market cap. It has a low PE of almost 12 this year and then 13 next year. That looks pretty good. Analysts think it is fairly priced. Over the past 5 years, investors did quite well with the stock, considering that you also get paid a dividend. What does Meta think? Meta AI believes the stock is worth $178 per share, which is lower than the current stock price at $211. And I'm going to stay away from JP Morgan. I think it's a really popular stock. It's certainly in many portfolios, but I just think there's better investing ideas and possibilities within this sector. Visa is a very well-known company with a very big market cap, and in a way, they really deserve that market cap. It's a really trusted payment platform that's been around for a long time. It is worth $528 billion overall market cap. The PE is a little high, nearly 30 for this year, and it's coming down to 26 next year. The company is very consistent in its performance, which investors really love, and I really respect. Analysts believe that it's discounted by about 12%. This is a great, great company. Now, as I look at the company and look at what Meta thinks about the stock, it thinks that it's actually being discounted by a pretty good amount. It believes that a fair price is $308, but the stock's trading at $278. Since Visa is a really high quality company, I'm going to put Visa through additional analysis and see if I want to start buying shares in this financial giant. Citigroup is a stock that I own, and it is a big bank. It's one of the big giant banks. It's too big to fail. And I really feel that the fundamentals are really attractive. I've been an investor for quite a while, and it's been a good return on my investment. Overall, the company has a PE of 17 in this year, and it's really going to drop to 10 next year. The valuation is much lower than the ones we just seen. It really drops down to $120 billion market cap. So I think it's a really good investment. And analysts believe that it's also a good investment. They have a buy rating and they have a 13% discount. When I do a valuation on Citi, I come out with about a 19% discount. So it's a decent discount. I've already seen a very good return on this stock and I've got an unrealized gain. I'm just going to be holding shares of this bank, but we'll look to buy additional shares after their earnings are announced if they do show good revenue growth. Talking about a smaller bank, US Bank is a bank that I was an investor in for a couple of years, and I'm really glad I made good money on that investment. And it is smaller than all the stocks we've seen. It has a market cap of 69 billion, really nice low PEs, and analysts believe that it is discounted and it's a buy. Now, when I look at this stock, I think that it's a very good stock, given that the economy is going to do well in 2025, and US Bank has really been growing their revenues quite well. Investment banking is also a really good idea. And one of the leaders is BlackRock, who is a $140 billion market cap company. And they have a PE in the 20s, 23 for the current year and 21 next year. They pay a nice dividend. It's a strong buy, but they're fairly priced. Overall, it's an interesting company that I am going to research further because I'd like some exposure into this type of company for 2025. PayPal is a lot like Visa that we saw earlier. It has a lower market cap at around 81 billion. And this stock was really beaten down for a while, but now it's really beginning to work. And I'm glad I'm an investor in PayPal. I've got a sizable position in PayPal. And I'll be buying additional shares because I think as the consumer is getting healthier and more able to spend, PayPal is really going to grow their revenues. I value PayPal at a 51% discount, and that's because they have produced really good free cash flows historically, and they are producing really good free cash flows in the current year, and it's expected to continue. Their earnings per share really show that the stock price is fairly priced, but those cash flows is where I really focus my attention when I look at intrinsic value, and I think PayPal is really going to deliver a good return for me in 2025. Insurance companies are part of the financial sector, and they've been doing great in 2024, and I think it's going to continue into 2025. I own Allstate, and it's returned a fabulous return and paid a dividend. The company is really strong, continues to grow their revenue because insurance premiums are increasing, and this company really knows how to make a profit from an insurance business. When I value Allstate, I find a 76% discount. I think there's so much upside because of those cash flows that Allstate produces. I expect they're really going to produce them in 2025 and continue that upward trajectory for the stock price. And the earnings per share is also very good, showing a nice discount. Robinhood has been a really good performing stock in my portfolio for 2024, and I think it's going to continue to perform in 2025. This company is really well positioned with the younger investor as well as cryptocurrencies. And as we see the financial markets doing well, investors are more prone to put more money into stocks, crypto, and other investments. And therefore, Robinhood's going to increase their overall holdings, their fees, their revenues. And I think Robinhood's going to have a good 2025. And the final stock that I'll highlight is Ally Financial, which is consumer finance. And they primarily finance cars and as well as provide other services like an online bank and insurance products. The company is just a $10 billion market cap company, and they have really nice low PEs. What I would draw your attention to is just a little while ago, a month ago, it was really a big concern that the consumer was falling behind on their payments. And that may still be a concern, but it really went down yesterday. And I think this stock's really going to rebound and could be a good idea for me in 2025. For the past 3 weeks, the economic information we've received leads me to believe that 2025 is going to be a reasonably good year for the economy. Having said that, the financial sector is going to do well. So I want to increase my investment in this sector. I've looked at a few stocks on this video that I'm certainly going to buy more shares in. And I'm also going to look and do more homework on Visa, BlackRock, and Ally to see maybe if I want to get into those stocks. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you found some good ideas for you to do some analysis on. Keep in mind, I don't recommend you buy, hold, or sell any of the stocks I talked about. I'm just talking about my journey and I'm talking about my opinions. Please, you do your own research before you make your investments. Thank you for watching and good luck investing.